Now let's go to Tom in Florida. Hello, Tom.
Hey, Glenn, how are you? I'm definitely a Ron Paul supporter, and I definitely believe that your interests are for America are put after Israel's interests, and you operate on behalf of Israel, not America.
Oh, my God.
Okay, hang on, no.
Is he won't support Israel, and he won't bomb Iran on behalf of Israel.
Okay, so my interest, I am an operative for Israel.
Yeah, I believe you took your 30 pieces of silver for Israel over America, and you betrayed your country.
All right.
And I believe,
Did Israel pay Glenn directly? Is that what you, wait, do you believe that Israel paid Glenn directly? How's he making money on that?
It's a PayPal account, I believe.
Yeah,
No, let him talk.
Pay him directly. He's a part of the Israeli lobby who lobbies for Israel continuously.
Wow.
Okay,
Well,
so-
he's actually on the payroll of Israel, you believe?
Yes, yeah, actually.
Literally on the payroll.
This may very well be a Ron Paul newsletter subscriber because he was talking about the Israeli lobby playing Congress.
Hold on, let him talk.
Silver, I believe you took your payoff in gold, right? All right.
No.
Oh,
No, but that was...
No,
do
you said
have
it before. It was silver.
Tom, do you have anything to back this up?
Oh, what does Glenn spend his time doing? Promoting Israel, promoting...
yeah, because I believe in it. But tell me...
Persians on behalf of Israel. That's what he does 24/7.
Okay, you're talking to me. Can we not talk about me in the third person, Tom? Can we not talk to me? This is Glenn. I mean, do you have a weird third person thing? Yeah, you're talking to Glenn. You're calling the Glenn Beck program.
I heard somebody else speaking besides.
Well, there are other people.
There are
on the
other
show.
people. Do you listen to the show, Tom?
Your first day on the show, or
Yes, I do listen to the show.
Okay, so then you know Pat, right? Pat is my
hello.
Pat is my best.
He doesn't know.
Okay, you're good. No, you're good. No, you're
big
okay.
strong
And then
listener.
Stu, of course, is my
Your handler, right?
my handler. Okay,
Yes,
okay.
I'm
no,
the
no,
handler.
you're-
I'm the
that's
handler.
What, that's what we refer
The
to
money,
on the show.
all the Israeli money goes through
me.
Stu
Yep.
to Glenn.
Right,
my
okay,
PayPal
so
account.
he's my
Right.
handler. He's my handler. Okay, so what do I get money from Israel, and I'm an Israeli operative.
What's your major problem with Ron Paul, other than he don't support Israel, he don't support foreign aid, and he don't support
any of those things.
Yeah, no, I
Dewey.
I'm sorry, Tom. Those are pretty big issues. What's your problem with Mitt Romney, other than he's a big government guy?
American
I mean,
interest is not Israel.
Yeah,
We're not
hey,
concerned
Tom,
with America
Tom,
and Americans, not with
Tom.
Israel and Israelis.
Okay, well, I mean, you could. I mean, that's totally cool.
Ron Paul talks about the 9/11.
Let's have a logical.
I was trying
on
to.
behalf of Israel.
He seems to be.
Tom,
talking.
can I play something for you, and you tell me if you agree with this from Ron Paul? All right,
Sure.
This is Ron Paul from Ron Paul. All right, here's one of my huge problems with Ron Paul. Listen very carefully.
Into his trap, and if we only, why is it off base today? When the gentleman indicated that he did it because,
And by the gentleman, he's talking about Osama bin Laden. So when the gentleman he called it Osama bin Laden, the gentleman indicated
of the bombing, you know what the administration said? They dismissed it. It can't possibly be so. If you dismiss motivations for why they hate us, we can never resolve this. There's hate on both sides. But
okay, is that what you believe
Yeah,
that
you
the
think-
administration?
you think you can
Let me
bomb
talk for a
people
second, and then you can
children?
respond. Here's a question for you, Tom. Do you believe that Osama bin Laden, A, was a gentleman? B, is it our fault he attacked us, and should we believe him and his motivation for why he attacked us? Does Osama bin Laden have more credibility?
We bombed his people, and we killed his women and children.
Wait, hang on. Tom, who of Osama bin Laden's people did we bomb?
He considers the Muslim people his people. He considers the Palestinians his people.
We helped. Do you remember this? We helped his people. We helped his people in Afghanistan. We trained and funded Osama bin Laden against the Soviet Union. Then he turned on us.
And then we became the Soviet Union.
No, we did not become the Soviet Union. We were attacked.
Wow,
I mean, this
on
is
behalf
so
of
irrational.
Israel. You're a bigot, Tom.
That was on behalf of Israel.
Yes. Is that how you fight? You just dismiss someone as a bigot when they present issues?
Oh, no.
He got paid first.
No, I got paid first to do that, Tom. You haven't presented any evidence here, Tom, that I'm on the payroll to Israel. Any evidence? You want to give me any? Any
evidence of what? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
That I'm on the payroll for Israel.
Well, Glenn, if you're not being paid, you're working awful hard on Israel's behalf for not a man not.
Are you being paid by Ron Paul?
No.
Oh.
Well, if you're not,
you're working awfully hard for Ron Paul. Or is it possible that maybe you believe in it?
Interest above America's interest. I thought America was your country.
Tom, who's going to pay? How much are you going to pay for gas in the Middle East? How much are you going to pay for gas here? Where are you going to get your oil if the Middle East is on fire?
That's worth murdering women and children to get cheap gas prices?
Oh, no. I'm just asking you, Tom. I'm just asking you. I think we should drill for oil here. I think we should drill for oil here and pull our troops home.
I agree.
Okay, so great. So until we drill for oil and are energy independent, why would you think that we could let crazy people have nuclear weapons in the Middle East? Why would you think that's going to work well and we would have an economy even left? What do you say we drill for oil?
We're the proper judges of who's crazy and who's not crazy.
Oh,
if
well.
people want to fight back when they're being murdered, the women and children are being murdered by...
all right, well, if you're not willing to... Hang on just a second.
I don't think they're crazy.
Okay, well, then we disagree, Tom. You're crazy. If you think Ahmadinejad and Osama bin Laden, let me just get you on record here. Osama bin Laden,
the gentleman,
and the gentleman called Osama bin Laden and Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, they're not crazy.
No.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Good.
That's,
we just have a difference of opinion.
Osama bin Laden's
okay, no, that's cool. That's cool.
Ahmadinejad crazy. What makes him crazy?
Do you know anything? Tell me about his belief in the 12th Imam.
Well, when the 12th Imam returns, there'll be world war.
Okay. No, that's not how it happens. He returns to bring peace.
First of all, the 12th Imam crawls out of a well.
Yeah.
After 800 years.
Let's get it from Tom.
But that's not crazy.
That's not crazy.
That's not crazy.
Than Christian and Jewish stories.
All right.
Oh, okay. All right, good. Okay.
All right, Tom.
All right.
You're right. No,
okay,
right.
good. So Christians and Jews are crazy. Okay.
No, they have crazy stories in their
like what?
Old Testament and their New Testament.
Like what? What's a crazy story? Tell me. Let's do one on Jews and one on
Egypt. Like the Israelites leaving Egypt. That's a crazy.
That's
story.
a crazy story. The Moses story is crazy. Okay, let's. Now that we've taken down the Jews, now that you've taken down the Jews and their crazy stories, help me out on Christians. What's the crazy story on Christians?
Well, a lot of people can challenge a man walking on water. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Say, man,
how about his rising from the dead? Is that crazy?
A lot of people would say yes.
Would you?
They might.
No, would you? I'm asking you. I'm not asking for other people. I'm asking for you. Do you think that's crazy?
Yeah, I think it is crazy.
Okay, good. Tom, we disagree, and God bless you. And I think you've done Ron Paul a great service here.
The last two sides of the Ron Paul caller coin there.
There you go.
The last one really good.
That's your typical
That's
Ron
your typical.
Paul
That
caller.
is caller, not your typical Ron Paul supporter.
Not necessarily, but
you're
that's your
Ron
caller.
Paul caller. Yeah. And this is exactly the guy I said to the Ron Paul supporter we had last hour. You do your candidate a service. If Ron Paul callers were like the caller last hour, Ron Paul wouldn't have the image that he does. More people would say, I'm willing to look at Ron Paul. But I don't want to even be in a room with this guy. I mean, and say, hey, my candidate is that candidate. We're buddies here. This guy's crazy, I believe uneducated, a conspiracy theorist, and a bigot.
I love that. He was even willing to... Ron Paul is very pro-gold. I mean, he talks about it all the time. He was even willing to bash gold to you. Oh, I guess you're getting payoffs from gold. He even was willing to go down that road to defend Ron Paul. When Ron Paul...
You want to talk about conspiracy theory?
Oh, God. You're getting paid from the Israeli government.
I'm part of the Israeli I'm part of the Israeli lobby. Wow.
That's what it's always an extra person. And whenever if someone disagrees with Ron Paul, 90% of the Ron Paul callers will just say that they're involved in the conspiracy against Ron Paul.
And usually they'll at least go down the road of spending or pork or whatever. And it would have been fun to ask him about, all right, your stance on pork. You agree with Ron Paul? Of course he does. There should be no pork in any bills. It's unconstitutional because they shouldn't do that kind of spending on a federal level, right? That should all come from the states and from the local governments. So it would have been interesting to hear if he's okay with Ron Paul's system of getting pork delivered directly to his district.
Right.
Of putting pork, if your principle is that that there should be no pork, you don't put it in the bills.
But Ron does it and then votes against the bill.
After he knows it's going to pass.
Now, hang on. So what that makes Ron is not a constitutionalist,
nope,
a progressive politician. I mean, at the very lowest rung of that ladder.
It's the same
and that
theory,
is,
yeah.
it's the same theory. And it is, I'll make tiny steps towards libertarianism. I'm not going to go all the way because that's not the way the game is played, which is exactly what I say. I'm just a little different on the ladder. Mm-hmm. I'm going on a progressive libertarian scale. I'm going the opposite way. I'm trying to dismantle the progressive movement. I'm trying to dismantle this giant state, but I want to do it slowly. Ron Paul supporters say that's not good enough. Yet Ron Paul is doing the same thing. He speaks out against pork. He works against pork. But then, because that's the way the game is played, and you have to do it now, but not later, it's somehow excusable for his supporters.
Right, and they make it out to essentially be Robin Hood. Well, he has to take the money back. It's their tax dollars, and they're getting his, which is the same thing Santorum says, by the way. And Ron Paul supporters are bashing Santorum on that. But their guy's okay, because he's the Constitution's best friend.
And let me ask you this. If you're for term limits, why haven't you gotten the hell out of Congress? Set the example. Get out!
Well,
which he's going to do. Finally, he's going to retire after 163 years.
If he doesn't go, then who's going to replace him? Well, it's the same thing that every single
how the game's played.
Every single person that gets to Washington says the same thing. Well, but I'm making a difference. You can't lose me.
Glenn, I'm sorry to interrupt, but as your handler, you need to do a spot here.
Is it for Israel?
It is for Israel. Well, just do the one I put in front of you. I'm your handler.
Well, if you owe the IRS, which starts with an I, and so does Israel, you should support the IRS and Israel.
Not only that, the IRS will send your tax dollars directly to Israel, and then that money comes right back to you.
That's what. Wait,
which
what?
is nice. Mm-hmm. It works.
Comes to
well.
me.
Yeah,
I love this system. Tax Resolution Services will deal with the